Thanks for calling the Beards and Sundries hotline. You've reached Anthony. Leave a message after the beep.
Hey guys, it's Shanae. I just finally listened to the podcast from this week yesterday, and I just want to say, you fuckers better stop talking bad about Wisconsin. Wisconsin is actually amazing, and you should all come visit. The likelihood of Jay seeing anybody he knows is slim to none. We won't even go to that area. So stop talking bad. Have a good day. Love you guys. Bye.
Good evening. This is Beards and Sundries Podcast News, your one-stop news shop every Sunday, with your host, Jay. Another host, Anthony. And another host, Joe. We're your Beards and Sundries hosts and news anchors for Season 5 of Beards and Sundries.
Welcome back to the Beards and Sundries News Network.
Wait, who is that? Is that Anthony?
It doesn't have to be. I can leave.
Okay, bye.
Wait, you didn't charge your call-in excusinator.
Does it make excuses or does it destroy excuses? I'm still not clear on this. I still have not gotten context to it. I have only made the commercial. And if you listen to the commercial, it's a good one.
I haven't even listened to it yet.
Its very first excuse that it produces is its very being itself. Sorry, I can't come in today because I'm putting together my call-in excusinator.
The whole commercial is an excuse about making the commercial.
I can't wait to listen to it tomorrow. Well, Thursday. My Thursday. I'm confused. Anyways, go
I'm
ahead.
confused as well.
But, that's right guys, it's time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where three gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and listeners, on the runway, you're a trick we can't stop thinking about. But on the user content portion of the show, you're a trick who ghosted us.
So we don't have to ask about user content later. That was just preempting.
Actually, we do, actually. User content, it's just, I was thinking about the times that we don't have it, and I'm guilting them. You know, the shit like that.
Well, I'm Anthony, the freaky queen of this podcast.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Come on, Evie Oddly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Joe, and this episode will leave you gooped, gagged, and plucked. But that means that today's sundry is RuPaul's Drag Race. Beardos, you may or may not be familiar with the multiple Emmy Award-winning reality competition show where drag queens compete with one another to become the next drag superstar. Well, Anthony and I had previously been living under a rock until this past spring, when we decided to sit down and binge the entire series from the very beginning. Since then, we have fallen in love with the show, we have plenty of favorite queens and not so favorite queens, so today the three of us are here to talk all things Drag Race. After the break, we'll talk about some drag names, but before we prepare to tuck, how about this week's voicemail about the stupidest state in the entire country?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, Kentucky exists.
Florida.
Well, Oklahoma
exists.
does too.
Mississippi's there.
And Arkansas.
Arkansas is fine.
Actually, any state that normally votes just red.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
just
all
run
better
with
than
that.
Wisconsin.
God. Well, Shanae, I, for one, would rather live in Wisconsin than any of the states we just named.
100%. I support it.
Yeah, absolutely. If
But
I
we're
had-
still
Even
going
if
to
I-
shit all over it no matter what.
Even
It's
if I
about the
ran into my
principle of the
dumb
thing.
ex. I hope
it's a
this is
big
the
state.
first episode he listens to. He like finds it and he goes, "I'm gonna listen to my ex's episode," and then all of a sudden it's me going, "My ex is dumb."
Yeah.
Well, he can
he's
take a
dumb and
Milwaukee right
smelly.
on out of here. I don't want him to listen anyway. He
Get
wouldn't even
out
listen
of
to the
here,
BMW.
you
He wouldn't even
get
listen to the
this.
BMW dealership when you said the payments were too high.
Oh my god! I remember being like, "Ah!"
I still am, and that's this many years later.
It's a
This
mortgage
many years.
payment, girls.
That was more than a mortgage payment on my house.
Yeah, I believe
I
it.
will say it's cheaper than the rent that I pay now.
Yeah, but I feel like rent is one of those things currently that's kind of
Stupid.
exorbitant. I haven't seen
Yes.
rent that is based off the value of the property more than it is the value of how much they can get away with charging you.
Oh,
for
we've
what I'm-
talked about it, boys, haven't we?
For
was
what
it?
I'm paying,
California, you have to make like $42.25 an hour to afford a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, I will say I'm paying for the convenience of being able to walk to numerous places around me. You know, for beer and other alcohols and sometimes food.
I do have to wonder how much you're saving in gas by not like commuting all the way from Yukon every day and back.
Well, I'm saving nothing, according to my my account, because I'm spending a tank of gas when I go have dinner.
Oh, well, why don't you try Fat Frank's?
That's
Fat
why
Frank's
this
is a
week.
furniture store.
Yeah, get yourself a dining room table so Nonna Stella can come over and make you some terrible pasta.
That's next week's episode.
Oh,
That would be good. Like for Halloween, Jay could do an entire episode as Nonna Stella.
no, Stella here.
You could do that for an entire recording session.
You think I
I
can't?
could not do that. I mean, I could do it. I feel like we should pick our most iconic characters from the podcast.
You know that I would change like 18 accents during the episode.
I
I'd be
know.
Fat Frank.
That's the best
You'd
part of the
be-
challenge.
Nona Stella,
I'd be like-
and Joe would be Vivica A. Fox. But thank you very much, Sinead. We appreciate you calling in. We're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
hate on
thanks.
Wisconsin more to ensure we get some more voicemails.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck that
Yeah,
state. Fuck that
stupid
swing
state.
state. You better swing blue this year, but fuck them.
Yeah,
Looking like a
Wisconsin
mitten.
Badger don't care. Wisconsin Badger don't give a shit.
Ironically, I just got a text from another friend that's not involved in this at all that said, fuck it.
Yes.
But do you think I could tuck my sundries in aisle 4?
It's going to take a lot of duct tape, Anthony. But if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term
Painter's
comes
Tape?
from an old English word meaning odds and ends. Now, today, it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as 3 very sickening gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Wow. That was for you, Joe.
Wowzers.
And if
I didn't-
anyone missed my outfit this week, it's apples and bananas. Because I have apples on my glasses and bananas on my shirt.
Oh, I got flamingos on my shirt.
Also,
On the
I think
runway, you were giving us fresh produce, but during the Maxi Challenge, your banana was pre-peeled.
Your banana was mushy.
your banana was
Bread.
bread?
Your banana was too speckled.
Your banana was pudding.
Anthony, your outfit this week is giving us Daria love. But on the runway, your Maxi Challenge gave us diarrhea.
I really like chili to be spicy, Joe. And that was the Maxi Challenge. Chili. It was a chili cook-off. I also would like to see the Queens participate in a chili cook-off as the Maxi Challenge.
That would be good. Jay, your shirt this week is giving us something good to stand on. But during the Maxi Challenge, we had to hastily shove you into a Miami Zoo bathroom. Because that's what they
Oh.
do to flamingos in this situation.
Oh, thank God for the bathrooms, though.
Yeah, the Miami Zoo, like the bathrooms, they'll push flamingos in there with straw on the floor. So if you're in that local park bathroom, you better be careful
Ooh.
if there's a hurricane warning.
Yeah, because flamingos, while they look cute, they are not sweet animals at all.
They're
Maybe
just hungry.
they just don't like you.
They do the
That's
little
probably
chops. Chop, 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 chop.
Maybe it's like dogs. Like they just know the person they're hanging around.
Ew.
Have you seen flamingos? They are
That's why
not
Reggie
like
treats
dogs
me
at
like
all.
shit all the time.
Their brains
Yeah.
have to be the size of like a walnut.
They are. They're not known for their intelligence.
They are not
They
known
are
for
pretty.
their intelligence.
That's why me and flamingos get along so well, because that's why we're so alike.
But do you
Flamingos
know-
and I.
Oh. Okay. So it's one of those episodes.
No, not at all. If it was a grammar episode, we wouldn't be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. That's for fucking sure.
That's for fucking sure. God
Open
damn.
the library right now.
Oh God. Hang on, I gotta find my sunglasses.
I'm gonna fucking read Joe like you wouldn't. But no, I'm kidding.
Speaking of the read, okay, so if you guys are familiar, we'll introduce these little segments kind of as we talk about them. But the library is a famous now mini challenge that they do on RuPaul's Drag Race, where they will say, "In the style of Paris is burning," or something gay like that. They'll say the library is open. So then each queen, one at a time, gets to come up and put on fun eyewear, usually funny sunglasses, and they get to do digs at the other queens as they see fit, kind of like roasting them or kind of being funny. My favorite one, I think, still is that one where I can't remember who it was, but she was like, "The rest of you can all be pallbearers during RuPaul's funeral, and then you can lay her casket down below the stage so you can let her down on the runway one last time."
Yes.
God,
I'm
who?
not
It
even
was
sure
someone. Oh man,
Are you
who
sure that was a live that was a read? Or are you sure that wasn't during a roast?
I could be wrong, but I thought it was during a library read because it was the last one of the read.
It might have been. I just can't remember. It also I think
I
they
could be
edit
wrong.
those
It
to
might
where,
be a
like,
roast.
The winner sounds better.
The winner takes it all. The loser's standing small.
I can't believe they haven't done like an ABBA challenge yet. Honestly, speaking of,
You know
That'd
that
be
is kind of funny.
fantastic.
I would love to see an ABBA challenge.
I wonder if
love,
they just
like,
don't.
have
Have
you
the
seen
rights.
ABBA's outfits from the '80s? The '70s,
Were
even,
gay.
like the '70s and '80s, they were wearing some really crazy stuff.
Jay, if they can do Night of 1,000 Celines, they can do Night of ABBA. They can do ABBA. They're going to be fine.
Yeah,
would
when's
love
Drag
that.
Race Sweden starting?
I would.
It's
love
just
Drag
ABBA.
Race.
They're just the judging panel. It's just ABBA.
They're also the
I'd watch it.
contestants.
Oh, I don't, definitely watch it then. Do you guys have a favorite read from the library section?
God, I don't know. I can't think of
I
them
don't-
offhand.
I was like, I do not have a memory for that. I've never memorized the show enough to like have that stuff at hand.
I've seen a
I
couple
love-
of funny ones where they'll take a jab at RuPaul just for fun to test it, and they look at her and she goes, "Watch it." Don't forget who's signing those checks.
I love whenever one of the nice queens gets up there to read people, and it's just never like good.
Yeah.
I like it when they're walking up and they're like, "Oh gosh, I could never ever do this," and they put the sunglasses on. They're like, "Oh, I could never." All right, let's go.
Yeah, I love the read as mini challenge. I think I really like quick drag mini challenges the best though. Those are my favorite. Because to like watch the queens get dressed up in like 20 or 30 minutes in their best quick drag for whatever it is, oh my god, I live every time. And I'm impressed every fucking time by how much they get on. They like slap that padding on, they get a dress on, they put on some makeup, and I'm like, whoa, in 30 minutes I can't decide what to wear.
I will say the short amount of time that I watched Drag Race Mexico and they did one of those challenges, I was really impressed. They did some pretty good makeup, and I was like, in that short of time, I can't even do my hair in that amount of time. And I don't
Yeah.
have much because it keeps thinning.
I do like the quick drag too, because seeing them throw that makeup on that fast is so impressive. Like they can do that in the pads and the dress and the hair, and it's just, I can't believe it sometimes.
Yeah. Now, Beardos, if you don't know the format of RuPaul's Drag Race, generally they open the episode by recapping the previous episode, as one is wont to do. But then there is a mini challenge. You get Ru Mail, and Ru Mail lets you know that you've got something coming up. Then RuPaul comes in, and then you get a mini challenge, and you do the mini challenge, and then RuPaul tells you the maxi challenge and the runway look. Ooh, it's so good. And that's the general format of each episode. And then they do these maxi challenges and get prepared for it. And sometimes they're acting challenges, sometimes they're design challenges. It's very different, but it's designed to test the breadth of the queen's skills. And yeah, I think mini challenge wise, I think any quick drag one or the library are my favorites.
Yeah, and like Anthony said, they're trying to test their entire range because they're just not doing just a beauty pageant. They're not doing just a comedy, stand-up challenge. They're not doing just a who can sew the best costumes. You have to be a well-rounded queen because you really are competing for this title that is the next drag superstar. So you're going to be in the public eye. You have to be the best of the best. You have to be good at everything in order to be the best overall queen there is to win RuPaul's Drag Race. And I've seen a bunch of queens that have been like powerhouse seamstresses, or they're like comedy, slayers, or they're really good at, pageants, but they come in and they flop because all of a sudden something comes up that's out of their wheelhouse and they can't think of anything, or they just can't get out of their own head, and then they fail because even though they're the most gorgeous drag queen you've ever seen ever, they can't tell a joke to get out of a wet paper bag, and then all of a sudden they've lost RuPaul and they're maybe first or second out because they just don't have all the wide range of skills that it takes to win the entire thing.
That's why comedy queens tend to do so well, because comedy queens have to, like, they're funny and that's their shtick, but they also have to integrate themselves in their regular, like, drag work lives into what drag is, and that's costuming in some way, shape, or form. And so they have to do that and make themselves pretty to some degree. And so it gives them sort of a one-up, I guess, like a leg up in the competition, because they already come with at least 2 talents under their belt.
It's also a win for me if it's the bigger girls that are added on top of that, what you just said, because the bigger girls typically know how to sew because they have to usually sew for themselves a lot of times. They are funnier because that's what they lean on is comedy, because that's how they can get, a name for themselves. And then so they come through a lot of it too because usually they're pretty good at painting, or they can get tips and tricks from the other queens. So, that's why I thought, that Nina West was slated to win, not the latest All-Star she was on, but the season that she was actually on. I thought she was going to go all the way to the top because she was so well-rounded, in my opinion.
Now, Beardos, you might also note that Joe said tips from other queens, and a queen getting a tip from another queen is referred to as a kai-kai.
He means tip of the penis.
I
That's
have
exactly
a
what I meant.
confession. I don't really have a lot of interest in this show.
I know.
Why didn't you say something before we decided on the subject? You were excited about this.
No, because we could still talk about drag queens. It's not like I don't know some of the drag queens from it, and that I don't remember scenes from it. But in general, the show, I don't get into it.
We can also talk about drag queen live performances because Jay has been to far more than we have because we've been to 0.
No, we did the drag queen live. We saw Willem.
Well, we did see Willem. Cool.
Well, I mean, not cool. It was
No.
Willem was there.
And we've been to like drag brunches, but I mean like RuPaul girls. We haven't been to like any of their shows or
But I
tours
gotta
or
tell
anything.
you,
I've
let's
seen Monet
detour
Exchange
from-
twice.
Oh my god, I love Monet Exchange.
I saw Monet in Bricktown once, which great show, comedy queen, and then I'm pretty positive that's who I saw last in Houston. Was doing basically autographed vodka. Doesn't she have a new vodka out?
I don't know.
Katya? She's Russian. Well,
Katya would not have
from
a
Boston.
vodka
No,
because
I was like
she's
a
also
bunch of-
sober.
Okay, yeah, I was like a bunch of drag queens have it, and so it's served vodka. Green Apple Monet Exchange, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so Monet Exchange was literally like you stood in line and bought one and autographed it, and so I snagged some pictures.
Oh, I would have loved that. She's awesome. Man, when she came up on All Stars and sang opera in full high class drag on stage live, I
Yeah.
was just
And at her
blown
show,
away.
or live show, she did some opera.
Yeah. I mean, it's excellent.
So here's some like moments from like Drag Race that will never ever leave my brain. And it's like, I talked about this yesterday with Anthony. It's Ben de la Creme dressed as Julie Andrews doing a rap. Stuff like that. It is Bianca Del Rio doing her weird little rap whenever they did like 90s music. That kind of shit sticks in my head. Chi-Chi DeVayne doing a trash bag outfit. Those kind of things still stick in my head. I'm still impressed. Whenever they come out on stage, I really like to admire what they came up with. But in general, what I struggle with on the show is how edited it is and how it's always steered for me to be like, oh, this person really messed up because they like put all the sound effects in and they edit it to sound even worse than it is. And I don't know why I don't ever enjoy that kind of thing. But in general, I appreciate the art that they create, and I love that.
Well, there is a RuPaul song for this called Blame It on the Edit. Blame it on the edit. Blame it on the edit. That's what you're doing
I know.
right now.
I know. And I am blaming it on the edit because I'm like, you literally edit it for me to think one way about it.
That's how content creation works, Jay.
Yeah, what do you think we've been doing for 2 fucking years, man?
Well,
Seriously.
where's the BBC of RuPaul's Drag Race where there's just it's
Oh,
non-biased?
pit crew! That's where the BBC is.
Who was it that they were making fun of her dick that like Jinx
Evie
Monsoon was
Oddly.
like, it was Evie Oddly. There we go.
That
There's
was-
the BBC you're looking for.
She
I
said,
was doing a line
Evie
of
Oddly's
cocaine
dick
off
is
it."
so big that when I was doing a line of cocaine off it, I had time in the middle to pause and think, I've become my mother.
I mean, it's funny that you said Jinx Monsoon because that I was going to mention is literally, I love that queen. Fantastic.
Yeah. Everybody
Love the
loves Jinx
humor.
Monsoon.
Love Jinx Monsoon. And then I also talked about this yesterday with Anthony, Jimbo. I really grew to like Jimbo's comedy.
Jimbo is. We're watching the first season of Canada's Drag Race right now, which is weird because there is no RuPaul on there. It's
Yeah, it's
just,
being judged by Brooklyn Heights is running the whole thing.
I
Yeah,
know,
it's
and I was like-
interesting going to the other ones.
I was like, could you not just at least get a winner?
Nope. She said, no, I'm not going that far north. That's not where all the fracking is. I gotta stay down here where the fracking is.
All of
And
the
teach
silicone
people
on my
to
body
parallel
will
park.
freeze.
And I gotta teach you to parallel park on TikTok.
Also, this Serve vodka, I'm going to get one of each of these. These are incredible.
I wouldn't
didn't
do
know
Trixie.
they
She has a
even
hotel.
exist.
She's fine.
I know, but I want one of each. I think it's like I think no matter what.
A
she's gonna get
collector's
one of-
item.
Okay. I didn't miss any of this. Can I be on a work trip again?
You should have seen Jay and I scrolling through that list of conversation starters and trying to like fill time.
I believe it because whenever I was listening to the episode this week, I was like, this reminds me of that episode of Futurama where Fry becomes a police officer and then they cut back to the Planet Express crew and the professor walks in and he starts Hermes starts giving like data about how the company's doing. And Zoidberg's like, that's not funny. And he's like, it's not supposed to be funny. It's a business meeting. I'm like, it's supposed to be, or he's like, things used to be funny around here. What's changed? Only Fry would know. And he's gone.
that, very that.
Well, and I will say it sucks. I feel like the past few weeks with like this move and all this stuff going on, my brain has been like 18 places at once. And so I'm trying to be involved while I'm also keeping all these other things in my head that I need to do. And I'm just like, I can't wait for things to settle back down.
I've had this work project that I've been trying to knock out for like almost 2 weeks now. It's something that would normally take me maybe a day or two to do. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll just knock it out real quick. And it has bled into this whole almost 2 week thing because I didn't get to work on it last week except for Friday. And then this week I've just been, I don't know, I keep looking at it. And at some point I told my coworker, I was like, look, like, I don't know why I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this, but I need you to come sit with me for a minute so I can like bounce things off of you and figure out why I'm struggling with this, because I can't wrap my head around it, and all it is numbers, and I'm fucking good with those, and I don't know. But anyways, that's all to say I'm experiencing a very similar thing right now.
Yeah, like I briefly go out of town tomorrow, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, so after recording, you got to pack, and before recording, you need to throw laundry in the washer because you're almost out of underwear. You don't have enough to travel with. So like I'm doing that and just I'm tired. And allergies have hit. I'm tired. I'm just tired.
Yeah, it's
Don't
that
worry,
being
Jay.
sick.
You just have to drive to Houston tomorrow.
That's all. It's only a 6.5 hour
all.
drive as long as I don't hit
Yeah.
traffic.
Now, I will say, back to drag, because that's what we're here to talk about.
What a drag.
One of my favorite things, if I'm going to steer away a little bit from Drag Race since Jay doesn't really watch it, is drag brunch at the Boom in Oklahoma City. I think it is one of my favorite drag experiences of all time.
Ooh, guys, update. The 2 drag queens that ran that
Yeah.
are no longer there.
Aw.
What?
They
That's the
are
end of
at
an era.
Yeah, they. I think they had a falling out with the new owner of the bar, whom I hope hears this. He's kind of a douchebag. Anyways, so they had a falling out, and then they ended up moving to a place downtown where they do it. It's like once a month or something, and you have to pay a $20 entry fee. But I think it's called Glamour, and it's still like a drag brunch. And it's still just like it was. They're on stage. They're doing their shit. You're sitting at a table. You may or may not get your food like you used to at the Boom, and I didn't get my food, so...
You didn't get your food?
No, it never
Like,
showed
at
up.
all? And you never asked for it?
We stopped them, and they were just like, oh, I don't know what happened. And then finally I was just like, okay, well, don't
Well,
charge me
make
for
it.
it.
Yeah,
And
make
then
it happen.
So I'd starved all morning, and then it was
But
like
did you get
2:30
your-
p.m.
Mimosas?
I got my mimosa.
Oh, just one. Oh, that sounds like a lie.
Yeah, so it was kind of a clusterfuck. So then I was like angry because I had a headache from not eating. So I had to go to this restaurant that was right down the street that I know, and then I sat down and they were understaffed, and I was like, I'm never gonna eat. I'm gonna die. So I ordered a drink.
Well, obviously, that's the answer right there.
Who doesn't do that? But yeah, those 2 drag queens are no longer at the Boom.
I didn't realize, and I guess the 2 owners, the couple that owned it before, sold it then?
Yeah, the
Okay.
gay couple?
Yes.
I think it's still them, but they had a big falling out
Really?
With each other?
with the drag
Oh,
queens.
the drag queens.
That's
Are you telling me that drag queens had drama with somebody that owns a nighttime
it
establishment?
can't be that? Like, they have been there for years. They have been the only 2 drag brunch queens I've ever known at that place, and I
Yeah.
don't know how long I've been going there.
I've
Before I
never
met
gone.
you, Joe.
I've never gone since it's changed.
I always loved their jokes about Edmund. That was the best part
Oh
of the
my
show.
god. So the only thing that sucks about it is they repeat a lot of the jokes. So if you keep going numerous
Yeah,
times,
but-
you just hear the same shit. Like I can't tell you how many times they've pointed me out and said that my butthole looks like the Target logo, and I'm just like, ah. Like the first time I was like, ah, ah, and by the 5th time I was like,
You should go in there next time wearing a red polo and khakis. And like
oh, that would be kind
all of the
brilliant.
stuff you can find that would make it look like a Target outfit. Like make a
Just-
fake Target badge and everything.
But instead of it saying Target on there, it just says butthole, and that's the only difference.
I get it embroidered into the
And then they
polo.
look at you and they start to talk and they start to kind of stop and you can see some sweat to appear and you just go back and you just slowly stand up and you turn around. And
What
say,
does my butthole look like?
What are you gonna say?
And between your cheeks, you have a floodlight with the Target logo in there, and you bend over, pull your pants down, and bam! It's like the Batman
beacons
symbol,
on the
except
wall.
It's a fucking Target logo on the wall.
What was
And
their
then
name?
an American Bull Terrier comes in and bites them both, and they go, ow, and then they run away and then cry.
And someone in the crowd goes, "Oh yeah, Massimo."
Yeah.
What were their names? Something in Norma Jean.
I don't remember. I really
can't
do
remember.
not remember their names. I because every time I've been there, I have been drinking, and almost every time I've been there, it's because like the night before we have been out drinking, and then we go there the next day. And I think the last time we went was for Joe's birthday, and I was definitely still drunk when I woke up that morning.
I've been to that establishment for that reason numerous times, and there was one time that like a group of friends from work and all really wanted to go, and I was like, fine, this is a big group. So we got there first, and I was like, you know what? Let's do 8 pitchers of mimosas, because it was a big group. And I'm like, we're going to down these.
And then you go, what are you guys going to have to drink?
Well, that's pretty much how it fucking ended up, because they got there and they're like, oh, I don't really need much. And so like, it's the end of the show.
So you're down there like, rah, like the girls at Oktoberfest, just carrying the mimosas
end of the
around.
show. And there's like maybe 3 or 4 pitchers left, and I was just like,
You're stopping at random tables, just taking pictures. Like Slimer from Ghostbusters.
I downed them so fast, and then I like went home, and by the time I got home, oh god, it hit, and I napped for hours because I was so fucking drunk.
Did you lay on the bed like this? Like on the cruise ship?
That's a sangria drunk. It's very different.
Yeah, way different.
Yeah.
God, unrelated to drag, but Joe and I obviously have been like drinking less than we did before. We went out to dinner with a friend like a couple of weeks ago to a Mexican restaurant that's right by our house, and they had him order first, and so he ordered a margarita, and I was like, well, I gotta work at like 7 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm not gonna drink. And so
Boo.
I didn't get a drink, and then Joe didn't get a drink, and then you could tell he got a little uncomfortable, and I was like, it's fine, like I don't care if you drink. It was one of those moments where I was like, oh, you didn't know and you ordered first.
Yeah, because normally we would, and I just
Normally,
wasn't
yes.
feeling it.
Yeah, actually, normally that's a situation I would order a pitcher of margaritas in, because they have fucking bomb margaritas at that Mexican restaurant. They are tasty, and let me tell you, I'm a margarita snob. That's it.
I had beers at tonight's little function I was at before recording, and it was just ciders.
I had
They
a
were
nap.
good.
Same.
I like
God.
ciders.
I can't tell you how jealous I am of a nap. Oh, that sounds so good right now.
I always tell myself I'm going to take one, and then I never do. And then I got home today, and I laid on the bed for like 2 minutes, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking nap, because I got a little bit of time before you guys get back. And like, I had things I could have done, but I didn't do them. The only thing I did was get my cold brew going.
I'm so ready for bed tonight.
Well, before we talk more about going to bed tonight, do you think we should go on break first? For a
That's
break?
probably really smart.
Probably.
Yeah, let's take a break from talking about not drag, and let's move on to talking about drag.
Hey listeners, are you ready to add some spice to your wardrobe? Check out hunkytops.com, the queer, Latino-owned clothing site that brings you the hottest styles. And here's an exclusive deal just for you, listeners. Get 10% off your first order with the code SUNDRIES. That's right, 10% off when you use the code SUNDRIES at checkout. They do offer sizes above 3XL. Just hit the contact button and request a larger size, and they'll accommodate the best they can. So, what are you waiting for? Visit hunkytops.com today. Explore their amazing styles and wear your pride with confidence. hunkytops.com. Wear your pride, live your style. Remember, hunkytops.com. Use code SUNDRIES for 10% off your first order. Order now!
You're listening to the Beards and Sundries podcast, the news source that's still rated 5 out of 6 balls.
Jinx Monsoon as a pig. Loved that episode. When her ear fell off.
Oh my god. I think
loved-
the All Stars, All Winners is my favorite season so far because
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
it was so good. Everything was a fucking sleigh, but then Jinx just kept showing up in every episode. And even the episodes like she didn't do particularly well in, she was still just like not even
best.
really middle of the pack. She was like in the top tier still. And she was like,
When-
"Oh, sorry, I didn't do very well." Silver medal.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they got to the final lip sync and she drew Judas by Lady Gaga, and then it showed what she was wearing, I was like, this fucking bitch
She
was
knew.
ready for Judas by Lady
fucking
Gaga.
knew.
And then
She
she
was
turned
ready.
the fucking
They are.
party. She
You
didn't
know-
even have to do much of like a crazy lip sync. She just used her outfit and all of her charisma and of course, and just she turned the lip sync just by knowing Gaga to a T.
It's funny in the earlier seasons. I don't think it's as prevalent now, but in the earlier seasons, you could obviously tell in the lip sync challenge who was going to win because it was like camera was on this person so much, and then it'd be like, oh yeah, this person's over here, and then back to the person that was
Yep.
doing better. I feel like they finally got better about that now.
I like it when
Not
I
100%.
leave a lip sync not knowing who's going to win most of the
That
time.
is fun.
Although there are some times that you have to like obviously point out the person who's about to lose. Like when people don't memorize the lyrics to the song before they
Oh,
get on
and-
stage.
I know that makes Rue mad.
Well, it's that and not keeping your shoes on. That's another one. There are some
that's
like
a
real
cardinal sin.
Yeah, there are some real easily clocked things. Like I know a lot of times if like a queen shows up and her face is covered, they're gonna ding her.
Also, pants. Just standard pants. Mm-hmm. If you do an outfit with just pants of some sort that looks like you're a day mom going to work, that is unapproved.
Yeah.
And don't you dare fucking wear a flip flop anywhere near RuPaul. I don't care if the theme is beach day. You better be wearing goddamn heels. You better be walking in that sand in stilettos, bitch.
And if your outfit has a mask, you better be ready to take it off.
Take it off. And if you take it off and there is no makeup under there, you did not beat your face, ooh, you are in trouble.
I will say, as I've mentioned, for not being into the show a lot, whenever I do watch the runway and somebody comes out with like a spectacular outfit, I love that feeling of like, oh, that is fantastic. Like, I enjoy that.
Yep.
So, as I say, while I'm not into the show, that kind of shit still gives me like this excitement. Like, I'm so excited to see how good they were.
For me,
Yeah.
that queen is almost always Gottmik. Gottmik
Oh.
turns every fucking look they show up in, and I just, I get so excited about their looks. Like when they came to their season's finale, which spoiler alert, but at this point, come on,
Fair to say that this whole episode's going to have spoilers.
spoilers. We probably should. have
Oh,
introduced
yeah,
it with that, but
spoilers.
Fuck off. But anyways, but they turn up in that pinhead look with the fucking like cube on the chain. Oh my god, I thought I was going to disintegrate right then. I was like, oh, this is it. I've seen everything and I'm done.
No, there are some of those that are just groundbreaking in their fashion. And Gottmik is clearly on a pedestal of their own, of course. But there are certain queens that are kind of that sort of like abstract, artsy kind of like Thorgy Thor was like that, even though she
Yep.
was whiny as hell. I'm also thinking of like
Oh
Lady
my
Camden was
God.
like that a lot.
Totally forgot about
just-
Thorgy Thor.
I love any weird queen. I love a weird queen. Give me a Willow
Yeah.
Pill. Give me a Gottmik. Give me, Sharon Needles. I love an Alaska Thunderfuck.
I always
those
think
type of
about
queens.
Jay. Who was that queen? Aiden Ross, Anthony, the one
Oh,
that was from like,
yeah.
out in the sticks, and like we knew they weren't going to go very far.
I can't remember the name though. I think Aiden Ross is right. I always think of Jay anytime a queen starts doing a transatlantic accent in an acting challenge.
Yeah.
I would absolutely be the queen with the transatlantic.
Aiden
accent.
Zane, that's why I think about this, Jay, because Aiden Zane was this queen who was on a season a few months back that we were watching, and we could tell that they had a great heart, they were very creative, they could have been kooky out of the box, but they just kind of pigeonholed themselves in and didn't really go too far. But
Yeah.
one of the challenges they were supposed to be, it was like a haunting, they were doing like a horror movie from like the 50s, and and she was supposed to be a ghost, and she looks up and she goes, "Boo!" Like, just like that. And then, like, when they went to commercial, they played the clip and it was like, "Boo!" And then all the queens the rest of the season, even after Aiden got eliminated, they just got running around each other and being like, "Boo!" There was even a callback to it, like 2 seasons later. They were doing an acting challenge, and one of the queens just looks over and says, "Boo!" So, like, it's this little famous quick that just resurfaces every now and again.
Yeah, there are times we'll be watching the show and then like a queen will come on and do certain things, like especially at the opening of a season where we're starting to get an idea of who they are. And we'll just be sitting on the couch and be like, this is a queen that Jay would love, because they show up in like complete like Victorian era dress. And I'm just like, yeah, this is
I was
Jay
like-
core.
I know Raja in one of the All-Star seasons does a few outfits that I'm just like, yes.
I think it was All Stars, All Winners, because Raja was so good on that season.
Raja
my
was
gosh.
That's
Raja is so
easily
good
my
in
favorite
general.
season of Drag Race so far.
All Stars, All Winners is it, baby. I mean, it
Absolutely
is
the
so
best
good.
so far.
I wish we had saved it for very last, because so far it's been the best season of anything we've watched. And it's just because every fucking episode they turn up. And
Yeah.
even when they don't, I think one of the nice things about that season is that the judges go out of their way and the editors go out of their way to make sure that the feedback always seems pretty positive. And so it's like, even when they're getting a little bit of a correction, it's not like they're being dragged down. Now, Canada's Drag Race, for being such a nice fucking country, they are shitty to the queens
Yeah.
in this season we're watching. They have been mean
They
as hell.
read them down. They read them
know.
down.
I was like,
So I
damn,
don't
I'd
know
be
what you
crying up
decided-
there.
I don't know what you decided with this outfit, but I'm literally going to shank you because it's so awful.
But Jay, I will say, Jay, if you want to watch more of Jimbo, that was their premiere appearance, was Canada's Drag Race Season 1.
Yes.
And Jimbo is so fucking funny. And I love seeing Jimbo in that season because it's their first time on Drag Race. And so they didn't have quite the confidence they had whenever they came into their All-Star season. And, oh my God. Yeah.
Jimbo and the more recent stuff that I've seen.
I
Just-
would not have thought that I would have liked Jimbo. And then I
Same.
just fucking love Jimbo.
I saw some really weird stuff, and I'm like, you're kind of too out of it for me, maybe? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, never mind. I love it.
Who's the queen on the season that, was it Jada Essence? No, that wasn't the season. The season with Gigi Good, and I cannot remember her name, who actually ended up winning.
Those are
Jada
I
Essence
don't
Hall.
remember them by
Jada Essence Hall.
seasons.
Okay, yeah, it was Jada Essence
Jada
Hall.
Essence Hall won because I thought that Gigi Good should have won. So that's how I always remember that one.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if it was Jada Essence Hall, and I don't know why my brain was not tracking on that one. But who was the third finalist in that one? I'm trying to remember their name, but I fucking love them. And it solidified it in the final episode whenever they showed up dressed as a fucking piñata. And I
Who
lived
was that?
for that look. I keep wanting to say Thorgy Thor, but it's not Thorgy Thor. It's whoever it is with that very distinct lip makeup
It's-
that they do.
It was like Thorgy Thor. It was the one they kept comparing that one queen to in season 15. They're like, you're so just like whatever. I'm blanking on the
Anyways,
name.
yeah. Her.
I want to appreciate Thorgy. There's creativity there, there's quirkiness, and I love that. But in general, I just always found myself being like, shut up. I'm like, you're always bitching about something, and everything's treating you wrong. And I'm like, and maybe that's true. Shut up.
That's That actually is what drives me crazy about liking the weird queens, is that whenever they're weird, but then they're also like whiny, and I'm just like, ugh, you're trying to be out of the box. Why are you being so whiny? That's the whole thing, is your counterculture. Like, you're
pulling a lot of risk. If it doesn't go well, then your risk didn't go well. I mean,
different, and don't bitch about the fact that you're just doing stuff different, and the judges don't like it because you're doing stuff different. Because Sharon Needles won season 2.
Being completely
Sharon
different.
Needles won season 4.
4? I don't know. Whatever.
So you were talking about queens that you thought should have won, blah, 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 blah. Tell me, what's your opinion? Shangela or Trixie Mattel?
Trixie Mattel.
I was a Shangela fan. I was so mad that Trixie won.
Trixie every time.
I'm a Trixie fan. Now, I don't... there have been some recent events surrounding Shangela that I have not read about, so I'm a little ignorant. But I liked Shangela when I saw her on the show because, yes, she was a pot stirrer, and yes, she was very loud, obnoxious, but she would say things a lot of the time that were good advice. It was good advice. It was just put forth the wrong way.
I think you can be a loud and semi-obnoxious person but still be endearing. Because, like, Vanjie fucking does it. I love seeing Vanjie, and Vanjie's loud as hell. But I love Vanjie. So, like, when they're just loud and mean, I'm like, do you have any redeeming qualities?
Oh,
is there anything about you I should like?
I love when they call people out, and they're just like, I'm being real. And I'm like, yeah, kind of a real bitch right now. I mean, it was a little bit unnecessary.
So we are watching Canada's Drag Race right now, and one of the contestants on it is named Alona Burley, and Alona Burley is driving me out of my goddamn mind because they love to whine and complain and make everything about themselves. There was a whole episode where all they were doing was bitching, and one of the other queens who I really like called them out on it, and she was like, I'm allowed to have my feelings. And I was like, yeah, you are, but you kind of take up the air out of the room so that nobody else is allowed to have theirs. And when somebody else expresses their feelings the way that you are now, you shoot them down. You act like it's stupid. And so you're not giving the same breadth to people that you are asking them to give you. And it is very much the me show with her, and I'm so over it. And I'm ready for her to be eliminated. Because she's going to be. There's no way she's making it to the end.
Well, I will say so far that Canada's Drag Race Season 1, while a few steps back in quality, is leaps and bounds over RuPaul's Drag Race Season 1 in 2009 on VH1 and Logo.
The Vaseline seasons?
Oh, it's like literally like they smeared some KY jelly on the front of the camera lens and intensified the brightness and took half of a page out of the America's Next Top Model handbook, and then they just threw this competition together with a grand prize of $20,000.
I wish RuPaul would have had a scene where it was like, you don't know what I've been through, how hard I've worked,
what I had to do to get to where I am now.
Oh, God. I would have loved that. I really think that they should find a way to act that scene out. Also, sorry to change the subject. Snatch Game?
Ooh,
man. We would be remiss to not talk about Snatch Game.
I know it. RuPaul, I was like, I feel like we have to bring it up.
We do have to talk about Snatch Game.
Baloney.
When we were watching Jinx Monsoon on All Stars All Winners, when she did Judy Garland, that's when I knew she was going to win that whole season.
I 100% knew she was going to win. It was incredible.
I remember watching that and just being like, how do you beat that? There's no possible way to beat that. That's she did it. She just so perfect.
I know. And then Jimbo's, who was it? We talked about this yesterday.
Joan Rivers.
No.
It was Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Was that Snatch Game of Love or something?
It was Snatch Game of Love, yep.
Yeah, on All Stars.
Oh, my God. It was so good.
I was laughing so hard because I'm like, that is nothing like Shirley Temple, but you've put your personality in it so well.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
The part where she was like she was making the joke, she's like, ha, I'm 100.
And then she would do her little dance.
She just
Yes,
kept staying
so
in character
funny.
the whole time. It was so good.
Oh, it was so
It's
so good.
It's been Jimbified because I think there's no other good term for it because Jimbo is just so outrageous. Like they think out of the box. They do such a good job of being on brand for themselves because their brand is just insane.
Yeah.
So then, another Snatch game that I thought would be fun to talk about with Jay while we have him here was it was Snatch game with Gottmik. And it was when Gottmik decided to be Lassie, the dog that
Yes.
played Lassie.
So
Oh,
was
that's
so-
right.
yeah,
Gottmik created this character of like a 50s actress with like a
Yes.
stunning
Yes.
hairstyle, but also the dog nose. So she was the dog who plays Lassie, and she just made this character out of nothing as like a 50s femme fatale kind of like poking fun at the industry kind of character, and just brought it to life in a way that was,
And it was so good.
amazing.
I forgot, and I remember being really impressed by that because I was like, what a unique way to take that and make it something good. Because those people like pull those stunts and they're like, oh, I'm gonna put a little bit of me in it, and then it turns into like hot garbage.
I think it's when people don't know themselves very well, and Gottmik had the advantage of knowing themselves pretty well, and then
That's true.
also like being able to date the character, and like Gottmik works in the like LA Hollywood scene, and so like they do have a mild advantage when it comes to things like that, but like it was incredible, so fucking good. What was one of the quotes was like, I can't wait to stiff your butthole later, darling.
yeah, just these like lines that a dog would say, but 50s-fied. So
It
like
was really
perfect.
good.
I was like, oh my god, Jay would love this.
Yes.
Who was it that did the Carol Channing impersonation once too?
That was Pandora Box on the very first Snatch game
Yes.
ever, season
Oh,
2. Season
yeah.
1 didn't have a Snatch game; it started in season 2. And Pandora
That's
Box
right.
is famous for her portrayal of Carol
Yep.
Channing.
I
Yep.
was like that one was really good. I do vividly remember that.
So one to call out before we get like all the way done with this is the one with Gigi Good when she did the android or robot or whatever, and Rue was like really concerned, and she was like, I hear your concerns, I don't have the same concerns, and then showed up and fucking destroyed it. It was so good, and gave me one of my favorite quotes from Drag Race of all time, which is, how very dare you.
How very dare you?
Yeah, I fucking love... And Gigi Good, I feel like... Gigi Good's season was so good in general that it was tough when you get to the final three, because really any of the three of them deserved it. And Gigi Good was just costumed so well in her outfits. And I don't know. That was a tough season because you have not only these really great contestants, but then like that was right as COVID was happening, right?
Yeah, so that was the
Yeah.
season that they had to do the finale like over
At
Zoom.
home, yeah.
I also remember the season where Binda LaCreme was Maggie Smith.
Oh,
and it seemed like a lot of people kept bombing, and she rocked it somehow. And I remember being like, this is not going to go well for you. And then I'm like, fuck it. How did you do that?
I want Ben de la Creme to come back.
Ben de la Creme was like she wanted to get along with everyone, and she wanted to do well. She wanted to win, but she didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And
She was on her way
it
to
was
Miss
just-
Congeniality.
yeah, she did
And then she
that,
quit.
and then she voted herself off famously because she
Yeah.
just cracked under the pressure of it.
And that's it. I was like, I like you. I almost think you're too much of a people pleaser, which, it's not like I've never been there before.
That's
But,
a different podcast.
Yeah. Go back to our other show. But I just really appreciated her creativity. She was always stressed and was like, I can't do this. This is going to go bad for me. And then would rock it.
Yeah.
And
When she
so-
did the outfit with the different fake pasties everywhere and like looked behind
Yep.
her, and then they were on the back of her neck, and it was just
Yes.
oh my god, it was so good.
and then again, my brain goes right back to whenever she does her Julie Andrews rap, and she's like doing sexy dancing in her British, her British voice. It was so me. Microphone drop.
Oh my god.
The only takeaway I got from Ben de la Creme voting herself off was, okay, good, now Trixie can win. And then she did.
Oh my god. Anyways, before this turns into a fist fight about who's better, Ben de la Creme or Trixie Mattel. Trixie Mattel. Do you guys think we should move on to a commercial?
We do, but we have to give the Beardos what we promised, or what I promised. We got to talk about drag names, or at least come up with a drag name for each other or something, real quick.
I forgot about the drag name thing.
I completely forgot about that. Okay, well, mine will be inspired by a local latte, the Shizzle Fodizzle. Wait, Foshizzle my nizzle with jizzle.
That's your drag name? That's stupid.
Shut up! I don't know.
Well, here's an idea. I found a site that I can just spin a wheel and it'll pick them for us.
It's a drag queen name generator.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it used to didn't people used to say it was like the street you grew up on and like the name of your first
That's your
pet?
porn star name.
Oh, which makes sense because mine would be Lucky, Oklahoma, and that's pretty awesome. That's a good porn star name.
Wait,
It's a
what was
good-
it? It was the
Lucky-
street name in the state?
It was your first pet and the street you grew up on.
Oh,
so it was
first
Lucky,
pet.
Oklahoma for me.
Shadow Satchel.
That's stupid. Although
I always-
that is kind of good. Satchel implies the package.
Well, my package is half full, damn it.
I always liked this game better for my sister because I don't know if there was a pet in the family before she had her guinea pig that was her first pet, but I always considered that her first pet. And we grew up on Lincoln Avenue, so her porn star name is Peekaboo Lincoln.
Peekaboo Lincoln.
Peekaboo Lincoln.
Isn't that skier?
Peekaboo Street. No,
Yeah.
very similar.
I don't
And
know.
then mine
Okay,
would have been, I couldn't be Susie Lincoln, which would have been our yellow lab we had, but I had a gerbil when I was a little kid, and his name was Freddie, so I guess I would be Freddie Lincoln.
I just asked ChatGPT, and they said Beardy Baguette.
Beardy
It's a fun-
Baguette.
It's a fun mix. I hate this. For your love of beards, your French bulldog Reggie, and your fun, food-loving spirit. It's playful with a touch of elegance, just like you.
Damn. I should ask
What was the name
ChatGPT.
again?
Beardy Baguette. And I'm going to keep it. Because I do love me some fucking bread. And beards.
God, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this. I wish I had thought about this before we started the show. I would have come up with something while I was sitting there flailing today at work.
So I said, love it. Try another. Midtown Moxie. That might be the one, too.
Midtown Moxie.
It captures your vibrant life in Midtown OKC. Wow, this is alarming. Your confident, bold personality and your passion for enjoying life to the fullest. Plus, Moxie adds that extra flair.
The extra oomph.
I can just see you now coming out dressed up as Tina Burner in one of her usual get-ups, and you say, "How you doing, boys? You can have me all the way from my mountains, all the way down to my valley, and right down here, that's Midtown, boys, and I'm Midtown Moxie." Ah! And then you just reach over and devour a guy's cheese fries off of his plate, and then boys spank you.
I'm sober. Carry me to the old bar. It's just down the street. Because it's a luxury hotel bar.
Dang. What do you guys think about
Moxie.
coming back around to this right before we do the game tonight?
Sure.
Give me a minute to think about it. Okay, then let's go to a commercial, and before we play the game tonight, but after we do something to check out, we'll talk about our drag names.
I love it.
Thank you. I need help segueing. I can't just do it all.
Oh, no, now that you're back, we're kind of just leaving it back to you.
I've
so
noticed,
have fun.
yes.
We're having you make up for lost time.
God. Now
we
for a
had
word
to-
from our sponsor, RuPaul's Drag Race Unedited.
You mean Untucked?
No, unedited. The Untucked already exists.
I was like, Untucked is a real show.
And now, for a word from our sponsor, RuPaul's Drag Race, unedited. Do you love drag queens? Do you enjoy death drops and gown reveals and being snatched to the gods? Does Snatch Game get your snatch wet? Do you want to watch Drag Race, but you can't stand how catty the edits make the queens seem? Well, then we have just the show for you. Introducing RuPaul's Drag Race Unedited. Experience all of the drama of drag, but without all the pesky tension built during the post-production process. In RuPaul's Drag Race Unedited, you'll watch queens fight with each other, make scathing remarks involving feathers, and generally be unkind during the heat of fierce competition. But you'll also see them make up with each other and apologize for their bad behavior. It's a win-win for J. Rowdy Bushes everywhere. So make sure to tune into the Longtime channel on December 13th for the all-new RuPaul's Drag Race Unedited, so you don't miss all the hugging, apologies, and behind-the-scenes drag queen sex. After all, this is RuPaul's Best Friend Race, brought to you by the Longtime channel.
Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
Yeah, I gotta tell you guys, Drag Race Unedited, kind of boring.
I love it.
Yeah, there's no tension, no drama.
It's fantastic.
You see both sides of every argument. It's kind of weird.
Oh, they're both valid. Oh, this is interesting. I'm
Not
geared
always.
to think anyway. Well,
No,
that's true.
sometimes unedited validates my feelings about certain queens.
Yes.
Good.
I mean,
and bad.
you can become untucked, but you can't get ungagged. Unless it's
not?
by Harry Heimlich.
I guess.
You can't become Gooped because Gwyneth Paltrow's gonna keep getting you.
You're gonna get there, Joe. I have confidence. You're gonna figure this thing out.
You don't
I
know what
am
Joe's
not.
been through. You don't know who he's.
Right.
Well, thank God they finally put out a version that Jay can watch, because the drama is so low and so fucking boring that Jay can actually tolerate it. It's like
It's
the
called the
flower
Golden
of
Girls.
the reality TV show world. Oh no, Golden Girls is a little too high drama for Jay. He can only watch it in small bursts.
That's
That is
terrifying.
not true, and you know it.
I know it's not true.
You know, I haven't watched that in a while. What's wrong with me?
He hasn't
you
watched
been
Golden
moving?
Girls or the doll version.
But oh yeah, that's right. Well, do we have any beardos submitted sundries this week, Jay?
We do.
Yay! We had a dearth of them last week whenever I wasn't on.
Finally. Well, that's because they knew.
Bitch.
We had to fill the airwaves somehow.
Yeah, seriously.
We heard from Catherine.
Hi,
Hi, Catherine.
Said, hello, my loves. A few thoughts from recent episodes. 1. Very much appreciated the SpongeBob reference via the Texas song. However, boo, making it about Wisconsin.
Can you
2.
tell that was a baited statement to get you to write in?
Boom.
Because it was.
You fell for it.
And for all you beardos out there who haven't written in or called in,
Your state
here's
sucks.
a negative remark about your state. It's bad. Insert your state name here.
Insert state
Boo.
name here is the trashiest state I've ever been.
Boo. Hawaii, I guess.
Boo, Idaho.
No.
Potatoes
Wait.
come from there.
Boo.
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 All right, she continues. Number 2, appreciate the interest in my genealogy journey. If you like, I can continue to provide funny updates. I am up to 219 different towns in Europe and 3 Native American tribes. So far, interesting things have been Chief Powhatan being my 15th great-grandfather. I'm so sorry I'm murdering this. Multiple women accused of being witches, but no murders. And some very fun town names, including Bitchfield. That's where I'm from. England and Dinkelsbull, Germany, which I will only refer to as Dinkelberg. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. In honor of the Fairly Odd Parents.
Dinkelberg.
Number 3. In the most recent episode, when Anthony first said DSL, my brain did not go to dick sucking lips, but instead went to dick spiced latte.
Ooh, I'll take one.
Hello, I'll take a venti.
Thank God, I thought you were going to say direct. I thought you were going to say direct satellite link, and I was like, boo, that's not funny.
We hate you. Boo, Wisconsin. No, I'm kidding.
I'll have a DSL venti with as many pumps of vanilla as you're willing to give me.
Hello.
There's a blue dot over the
I'm
house
Sneaky
now.
Dog.
Come on, Sneaky Dog.
Oh my God, that would have been great for the end of the commercial. If you can't find ours, or if you need a store locator, just go to sexoffenders.gov and
Oh
look
my
for the
God.
blue dots.
Oh my God.
Look for the blue dots. They're at all residences. Okay, number 4. Also, when Jay referenced a song that includes lyrics all around the world, I also sang the same song as Joe in my head. Twinsies. Have a fabulous day, Beardo Catherine.
Thank you, Catherine.
They had a swish fluoride in 2nd grade for some kind of mind-warping reason, and that was probably it.
We also heard from JB on Instagram.
Ooh,
Well, hi, JB.
JB is in big, burly
Bony boy.
boy.
Boners. Big burly boners.
As in bottom. Anyways,
JB, are you a bottom? Or do you have a big burly boner? Boy.
let us know next week. No. Missed pun / joke in the conversation starters. When talking with someone at the park or park bathroom, it's, have you ever come here before?
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
Would you like to?
I'm gonna tell you, I was listening to you guys talk about these like conversation starters, and there was one moment where I don't remember what it was that you said, Jay, but I was in the middle of putting in floors, and you said it, and I went no, and then 0.5 seconds later, Joe goes no, and I was like, okay, good.
Lastly, we heard from Kevin, my friend Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin.
Said,
Kevin!
Hey, I just wanted to let you know a hot dog is a sandwich. It's a fucking sub. Deal with it.
But then that raises the questions: are subs hot dogs?
I then responded, I just want you to know you can fuck right off.
Signed, sealed, delivered, put a
I'm
Hallmark gold crown on it. I look forward to your podcast with your rebuttal.
Yeah. Start your show, let us know how it goes, and maybe we'll listen to it, and we'll give you a 5-star review, 3 or 4 years later. Because I checked
Maybe.
podcast and we haven't had one lately. I guess, you know what? Maybe people don't want to give us 5 stars, and they're just being respectful and not giving us 2 to 3 to 4.
Good for you. Good
And
for
we
you.
love you for that.
Maybe they're uploading the reviews from The Office, but they're accidentally uploading them without video or with the piece missing, or they forgot to edit part of it the right way, and it's the same review from last time.
Or maybe it's Maybelline.
Love you, Anthony.
No, you don't.
That was so interesting how it was like named right and everything, but it was an old episode. I was like, how unique.
Very. In that it's never happened before.
Anthony, where'd you go? Where'd you go?
Hell, where I belong. Like, can't do anything right.
This would be fun to film an entire episode like boomers trying to use FaceTime the whole time.
Yeah, that's me trying to edit episodes, apparently.
I want to
God.
record I want to record from my phone, and all it is just like you can see my forehead or my ear because I'm holding the FaceTime up to my ear.
Is the camera working? I can't see the wax.
Joe, don't leave in that part where I got back up out of the floor.
That's a
Out of the
thumbnail
floor?
right there.
Could have been the thumbnail for last week's episode when I wasn't here.
You know what we could have done? We could have done like that episode where Joe's video
I didn't
work.
feel like putting this camera on. I just didn't have it in me. Because I could have edited it. You know, I could have.
Oh, you
I
could
didn't
have.
want to.
I don't blame you. I bet it was like a nice effort to just have two people.
It does make a difference when it comes to editing, let me tell you.
I'm
It's-
sure. You know, if you want, I can take a week off so you guys can not have to listen to me.
Cool. Do that ad infinitum. That'd be great. Actually,
weekly,
Joe, you
Jay. Let us know.
take the week off too, and Beardos, you just listen to me talk about horror movies and video games for an hour and a half each week.
Well, that's weird. We lost all our listeners. That's strange.
You just
Right.
what else? Hour number 38. Then
seen
from
this
A24.
Do you remember that one time Jay talked about Liam Neeson half naked in a shower in the film High
Yes.
Spirits?
Who could forget?
And if you forgot, here's your reminder now.
Liam Neeson.
It's like one of those like primetime TV shows whenever they do the like throwback episodes where they're like, oh, remember that time? And then it like keeps doing flashbacks. And I'm like, what a cheap way to make a TV show for 30 minutes.
So, Jay.
So let's do it. Oh, that was it on my user content, by the way.
Well, I've got one more thing to check out, and it came from Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Oh my God, I have it.
Let's hear it for just Mom.
Hear it for just Mom.
So, as you all know, my mom is a avid listener and watcher of the show, and she sent Anthony and I, and also Jay, a very special envelope in the mail. Jay, she asked if you had gotten it yet. We weren't sure. I told her, she sent it to your old address, and I told her that was fine because you still have the house.
I do, and I also have mail forwarding, so it's probably just tangled up in that.
Okay, that's what I told her as well, so good. So, as an avid listener and watcher of the show, she sent us three a very special gift in the form of this. And this is a book sock. So, I took it out of the package. I took one of our cookbooks that is basically a textbook shape, and it's stretched on the front, it's stretched on the back, and this is where you put all those forgotten papers, report cards, gum wrappers, everything that you mean to find later and forget about. Right there.
You know, it's going to be nice to feel so rich now that I have a book sock. Like, I've never felt luxury to this level before, and I'm very excited for this book sock.
And if you're listening and not watching, my book sock is stretchy material, of course, and it is rainbow sprinkles. That's the pattern I have.
Gay!
I didn't realize we were doing that. Otherwise, I would have put my book sock on a book and brought it. But I haven't.
It's okay. I would have had to help you through the process anyway, so I get it.
Anthony, because you're poor, remember?
Bitch.
You're a
Yeah, I
poor
remember.
country boy.
How could I
Apparently
fucking
that's the
forget?
reason. Apparently so.
Jeez. Wow. Rude. Wow. Can we move on past this? I didn't know it was going to be mean to Anthony's segment. Jesus Christ.
Well, Jay doesn't even have one yet, so who's the real winner here?
Joe's having a book sock throwdown right now. He's just throwing us under the bus.
Beep, beep.
Look at this one. Look at that one. I'm kidding.
Well, thanks, Mom. I didn't even realize they were still making them and selling them, so now a whole new generation can enjoy those. Thank you very much. But, moving right along, does anybody have something to check out?
I do, if you guys don't.
Good.
GG good.
So, in the spirit of this episode, there is a show. We talk about Dropout, the streaming service, a lot on here. And this is a new show on Dropout. Please cut to Jay during this whole segment I've been talking. Please cut to him. But we talk a lot about the streaming service Dropout, and there is a new show on there hosted by Monet Exchange, who I love, and it is called Monet's Slumber Party, and they get together and they do these little slumber party activities, and it's just a fun little... How long is it, Joe? Probably like 30 minutes?
I think so. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, but... They're about 30-minute episodes, and then she has some of the other Dropout players on sometimes. They do little slumber party activities. She'll have other drag queens on, like Kimchi was on there at one point. I'm trying to remember who else was on there.
Kimchi! I forgot all that.
Yeah.
Because I love her.
That's a fun... Oh, sorry.
I loved her drag, but I remember her lip syncing just being like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
She's really stoic whenever she does stuff, so yeah, I get it. But yeah, you should check it out. It's on Dropout. It's called Monet's Slumber Party. If you've listened to our other episodes and you've already got Dropout, go check it out.
Nice.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. Jesus Christ, can do everything around here. But do you guys think it's a quick segment between game time where I realize I still haven't come up with a drag name?
Yes.
I still don't know. I have no idea. I feel like I want to make something meaningful. I'm torn between making something meaningful and
I
just
think I've
fucking...
got one for you.
Okay, do it. I want
And
to know.
this I think is pretty great because it's good because it wraps both your hobbies towards D&D, but also horror and lore.
Okay,
So
yeah, I'm into
this
it.
is a name that is inspired by the Babadook, and it is Barbara Duke.
Okay, yeah, yep. Okay, I'm into that, Barbara Duke. I was trying to think of something horror related, and I mean that's a good one. That's a good one.
Sounds like something you'd hear on like Yogi Bear. Barbara Duke. Say it with an accent.
Barbara Duke. Boo.
Oh my
Hey,
god! Should we
Pause,
move
what
on
are you
to
doing
this?
after this?
Do you guys think it's game time?
Sure.
I do think it's game time.
All right, and this is a game I'm calling Drag Phrase. So we haven't done games in the past few episodes, and I wanted to do one because we said we would do them still from time to time. And so I wanted to do a game this week. And this week, going back to a very traditional style of game, I've laid out 11 catchphrases from various queens from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh God, I'm gonna lose.
Well, not necessarily, but basically standard
like,
rules
maybe
apply.
not.
I'm going to read the catchphrase. You guys have to tell me who the queen is. You each get 3 guesses. First person that I hear answer it correctly wins. Completely subjective to my determination. Sound good?
All right.
Sounds great.
Sounds
All
great.
right. Fantastic. Number 1. We're going to start off with an easy one. Hi.
Alaska.
Thunderfuck.
Yes. Oh my god. You both get that one. I don't know who got it first. It was dead on to me. But that is Alaska Thunderfuck 5000.
5,000.
Yes. Let us say her full name. Okay. Number 2. Also an easy one. These are easy all the way to like number 8. So just FYI. Number 2. Hallelujah.
Shangela.
Shangela, it is.
That
Yes,
is
Joe,
right.
you
I forgot.
are correct. Yep. Okay, number 3. Party.
Adore Delano.
Adore Delano, it is. Wow, I made this before I realized that Jay didn't like the show. I really thought. So, I would apologize, but you were so enthusiastic about this episode last night, and I thought for sure this was going to be a thing, and now we're getting into it. I'm like, oh, he was excited about drag, not drag race.
My bad.
Damn, that's crazy. Next.
Number 4. I know Joe's going to get this one immediately. Much better.
Bag of chips.
Bag of chips. That is off of UK's Drag Race. It is
Oh, I
bag
was
of
like,
chips.
I don't even know that one.
Jay. I highly recommend UK's Drag Race.
You'd like it, actually.
I mean, I've
think
seen
you'd
some
enjoy
of it.
Season 1 was really, really good, especially for being a season 1.
Okay, so number 5, and I'm going to mess this up because I don't know the intonations or inflections they use to say this, but bam!
Alexis Mateo.
Alexis Mateo, yes, you are.
Bam!
Oh, there,
Bam!
that's closer, yeah.
Bam!
Also, my throat isn't letting me do those things right now. Okay, number 6. Look over there.
Jada Essence Hall.
Jada Essence
I was like,
Hall.
couldn't remember the queen,
Yes.
but I definitely remember that. Look over there.
Yeah. Look over there.
She's the one who stole the win from Gigi Good.
I don't know. I think she also deserved it. It was just a tough season. I mean, it's
It
hard
was.
when you get so many people who are so good in one season.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. Get ready, Jay, because you could also get this one. Miss Vanjie.
Vanessa Vanjie Mateo.
Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. It is.
Vanjie.
Vanjie. Iconic. Who would have thought that a person who got pork chopped off their season would become such an icon simply for saying their name as they left the stage?
Someone from Southern Florida.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. I think Vanjie is so iconic in their own way. Anyways, okay, number 8, and I gotta tell you, Jay, you're doing pretty well. Number 8. Let's see if you can keep it up. Choices. Wait, let me do a little. Choices.
Oh no. I can see it.
I'm
can't
be really
remember.
This
honest.
is
I'm actually enjoying watching Joe be able
Oh.
to answer these so well.
Tatiana.
They get a little harder. It's Tatiana. Yes, you're right. Oh my god.
remember.
Good job. I honestly wasn't sure
She-
anybody would get that one.
She was never one of my favorites, and I just think she's very bitchy.
I forget about Tatiana a lot. And there's
Yeah,
plenty of
me
queens
too.
I forget about, but she's one of them that I forget about. I just love that particular quote and phrase. I think is pretty iconic
Yeah,
to
it's
Drag
iconic.
Race. Yeah. Okay, number 9. No tea, no shade. This
Man,
queen is known
so
for
many of
some
them say
her
it.
phrases and like her iconic like phrases and sounds that she makes, and like this is just one of like probably 4 or 5 things that she has brought to the RuPaul lexicon.
Is this an Alyssa Edwards thing?
It's Alyssa Edwards. Yes, thank you.
I knew it. When you
Oh.
said that there was multiple things, I was like, wait, this sounds like Alyssa Edwards.
I
now
can't
that
do the
think about
tongue
it.
Tongue
pop,
pop.
otherwise I would have done the tongue pop.
So that's what I expected, and I was like, oh, it's
there it
Alyssa
is.
Edwards.
I can't make the clicky noise. I can do like a, but it's not the same.
Wait, what was the quote?
It's no tea, no shade.
Oh, I
could
can't remember
finally
her
picture
saying
her
it,
saying
but I
that.
guess
I think it's from her original season.
probably. Which that
Yeah.
was way back on our watching. Okay.
Exactly, which
I think
is
that was-
how it sort of entered the zeitgeist of queer culture.
I think that was season 6, or was that Laganja Estranja?
I don't know.
Come on, season 6. Let's get sickening. I can't
Okay.
remember. Anyway,
Number 10, Flag Factory.
Angeria Paris Van Michaels.
No, not. That's who I remembered it as too. And then I looked at this and I was wrong. And for full context, Beardos, while Joe's thinking about this, while Jay is not thinking about this,
Nothing going on up there. I have no clue.
it's during an acting challenge, and the Queen says, "I'm going to put a flag factory where a flag factory should be." Any guess would be fine, Jay. Anything. Just roll with it.
Nina West.
Not Nina West.
Oh,
I was wrong. Not any guess would be fine. That guess was stupid.
I
I don't know.
She won her season.
know. Oh, wait a minute. This is starting to pop in my head a little bit. I don't know who it is though. But
Starts with
just...
an S.
Simone?
Simone. Yes.
Oh. I don't remember, like, anything about her.
I was like, I can almost vaguely picture the phrase coming out of the mouth, but I can't picture the
She
drag
won
queen.
Drag Race, and then she sort of fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, all I can see when I think of her is Angeria.
Yeah, when
But
I
that
think of that
wasn't
phrase, I
Angeria?
think of Angeria, but it was not Angeria. No, I wish I'd included Angeria
Oh.
on here, because I could have done you ugly bitch.
Ugly bitch.
So
Yep.
many syllables and ugly. Good job, Angeria. Okay, very last one. And I didn't know this one, so I'm going to give you each one guess, and I'm just going to give it to you. But hey, Jay, if you get it right in your one guess, you win. I'm just going to say that right now. Even though you're behind by 8 points.
Yes.
Okay. Number 11. This is not RuPaul's Best Friend Race.
Oh, it's so early.
Bianca Del Rio.
It's so early. It is not Bianca Del Rio.
I was like that. I just vividly think I remember. I thought I could picture her saying that phrase at least.
She
A
might
lot
have
of the
said
queens
during
say
her
it, but
season.
this was the first
but, yeah.
instance of it being said on the show.
It was early. It was like
Really
2 or
early.
3.
I don't know. Ooh, I don't know.
Can we get a hint of which season?
It was season 4.
A little cloudy on 4, even though I liked it.
I know. This was a tough one because it's so early. And you hear it all the time, but this is the first time it was said. And I'll give you one more hint. And Jay, you can guess again if you want. I don't really care. You know what, Jay? You get unlimited guesses. And Joe just gets one. Well, you have unlimited guesses until Joe guesses. But this is season 4, and it wasn't actually said on Drag Race. It was said on Untucked.
Oh, okay. Well,
Really?
I'm never going to remember this.
But they coined this phrase. You have unlimited guesses until Joe guesses, Jay.
Once you put this, like, Roxy
RuPaul
Hart.
Season,
No. You mean Roxy Andrews?
Oh, yeah, that was her name. There's a Roxy Hart also, isn't there?
I don't know.
No, there's
Probably.
a Monique Hart.
I really don't know much else about this queen, so I'm sorry I can't give you any more hints than this.
Sharon Needles.
Nope. It was LaShawn Beyond. Why would you?
Oh.
I know at least a little bit about Sharon Needles.
Never would have guessed that one.
Yep. LaShawn Beyond coined the phrase,
remember
this
that
is
queen.
not RuPaul's Best Friend Race. Whenever, I think it was
Unless you're Jimbo.
to Jiggly Caliente. Unless you're Jimbo.
Was Jiggly season 4? That sounds so early.
Apparently so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jiggly Caliente.
But
God, if I could describe my 20s.
If I could describe myself right now, am I right?
I was like starting to
I
look
could
like my
describe
40s
this very
too.
moment.
This magic moment.
But I do think I hear the music coming back on, and it is Supermodel of the World. Why the fuck not? But go call our hotline at 405-999-2242 and leave us a voicemail to open next week's episode. Preferably one about how your state isn't stupid, you person who lives in a stupid state.
And beardos, our tux are coming on now, so it's time for us to get ready for our ship receiving a wet load on the back of the dock. If you like comics, make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when a new episode is released. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites.
And don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave a review. Reviews are what gets found like this. Also, if each one of you would tell a friend about the podcast, that would double our growth. We would appreciate it.
Shantae, you stay. If You can also Shantae to our socials, TikTok, Twitter. No, not Twitter. Wow. Let me start over. TikTok, Insta, Threads, Facebook.